Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. But besides that, welcome to a weekly review of the Quilt Social posts that we had this week. With me, I have the awesome Paul Léger of Paul Léger Quilts. And all week, he worked and played around with all the some of the Odif sprays that are very helpful with quilting projects. So those would be the Odif 404, the 505, the 606, and the 808. And he also tried the DK5 spray, which is the eraser butt. I'm not going to say too much about that right now because I want Paul to explain it all to you. And if you have questions, please type them in. We will try to get to all of them. But before we start, Paul, to make sure that everybody is on, like at 2 o'clock, Paul had an incident with apple filling during this apple season. So I don't know what happened in the kitchen the other week.
Oh, obviously, I talk too much.
Yeah, that's what's fun.
I decided as you know, I do a lot of canning during the summer months, and this summer I decided I was going to try doing. I was going to can apple pie filling.
Okay.
Which, in principle, the process should be easy.
Should be.
Yeah, but so the night before, I actually peeled all my apples, sliced them all up, and put them in water and lemon's juice so they wouldn't turn color. But I had two types of apples, one a hard apple and one a soft apple.
Oh.
And the next day when it came time to start it all, I put it in the pot. I start my process, which you got to use a type of a starch, it's called clear gel. And you got to mix often so it mixes well. Well, in my case, it wasn't mixing. So I said, all right, I think it's starting to now. So I took all my apples, the soft ones and the hard ones, and I put it all in the pot. Followed it. I mean, the kitchen was smelling beautiful, with cinnamon.
Yeah, I bet.
But by the time everything was said and done, 10 quarts of apples plus syrups plus whatever else was literally flushed down the toilet.
Oh, why?
The soft apples, because I let them in water all night, the whole thing was basically a pot of mush.
Oh, well, yeah. Isn't that applesauce?
At this point, yeah, but you're supposed to puree your apples before you make the sauce, not puree after the sauce is made.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
All right.
So I thought about another half bushel of apples. I haven't done them yet, so I got to try it again. I'm gonna win this one. I'm gonna win this one.
Yeah, good attitude. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have better luck with the Odif sprays then than the apple sauce?
Odif sprays like a walk in the park.
Okay, good.
It's a walk in the park. Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me all about it.
All right. Odif makes multiple sprays, and this week, as you just mentioned, I covered the 404, 505, 606, 808. I talked briefly about the DK5. And these are all, like most quilters, crafters, we all know about 505. There was only about a year or so ago when I had the opportunity to blog and to use all their products that I discovered the joys of a lot of their products. For example, they're all my favorites now, so I'm going to say my favorite, but they're all my favorites.
Okay.
Like the 404, for example, It's a repositional craft adhesive. So basically what that means in my language is you can take a piece of paper or a piece of fabric and convert it to a post-it notepad, post-it note. So you can stick it and it'll stay. Where I find this a benefit is like the post that I did this week with the little bear. When I actually thought of the idea, I was going to put him on top of the gift, right in front of it. And as I was starting to create, I said, I'm not sure. So I actually positioned it on top, in the middle, right on the line, and slightly to the side. And I was able to do so with the 404 because it's on the design wall. And my luck in design walls, fabric falls. This being also flannel, I find it falls more. Hi, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
So so for me, it was a great way to use it and to audition without worrying. And I was, you're able to back out, leave it there for a few minutes, come back, so on and so forth. Another thing that I enjoy about it is I was working on a quilt design some time ago, and I wanted to add a maple leaf. I was thinking of how can I add a maple leaf. So I actually found one online, cut it out, photocopied it in different sizes on paper, and I cut it out. And I sprayed it, the 404, on the piece of paper, and it sticks. Right. Exactly like a Post-it notepad. So, but so in this case, I was actually able to use it in different size and see if there was one size that I preferred over the other.
Right.
I didn't have to use fabric. I could just use the paper. I cut out the paper once for different sizes, but it was not like cutting fabric and say, okay, what am I going to do with this piece now? So it was a basic piece of fabric, paper, and put it on. And with the 404, like I said, it converted that to from what I call a Post-it note.
Right. And how many times can you unstick it and stick it back and that kind of thing? Like
I would
playing
say, with the bear, I repositioned it 3 times, and come the 3rd time, there still had some tackiness to it, but I could tell it was getting weak.
Okay. Okay.
If you needed it more, you just put another quick coat.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But at least you've got like a couple of times, if not more, to move it around and all that. I find it's really great for when you have a more, this week we were playing with the gift and the teddy bear just to show you, but I find that it could be extremely useful for very intricate quilts where, you've got a lot of parts and you're wondering about color. You thought it was right the first time, you're going to change the pattern, right? So I think that's an incredible tool to have, right?
It is. And I'm going to use this as a segue. I'm not going to be following the right order in the numbers.
Okay.
But, sorry. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to 808.
Okay.
And 808, for what it does for me is I'm going to compare it to. It converts your fabric into freezer paper. Basically, it gets the same effect as freezer paper does to your fabric. In this case, you're putting in this a light adhesive on your fabric. You iron it on. You don't like it, you remove it. You move it, you re-iron it on, exactly as you would with, like I said, with freezer paper, but it's not permanent. So to compare it to 404, I said 404 in the instance where like I said, there's a lot of pieces, you're not sure what color can be used that way. Or if it's not, you need to lay everything out, multiple fabrics, you could use 808, iron it on, and your center of your flower is not in the right spot. You could peel it off and put it back to audition where you want to use it. Right. And it's strong enough that you would be able to leave it all there. And if you were to do, like in my case, I do raw edge applique. Right. I would be able to do it as is.
Okay. Very useful.
Yeah, very useful. Like I would probably put maybe a bit more than that because a little goes a long way. But if there's going to be a lot of manipulation, I think I might want to put an extra quick little spray to give it that extra bit of a. Right.
So for the 808, are you putting that on the back of the fabric or over the fabric? In the back?
All these sprays, yes, all of them, you put it on the back of the fabric, paper, or whatever you're going to use. You put it on the back, yes. You make sure you're going to. My recommendation, anytime I spray anything, especially if it's in the house, it should be in a well-ventilated area. As we all know, we are using sprays. Even if it's outside, I will get a large, deep box.
Yes,
and I put it on the bottom, and I put it on the bottom of the box, and I spray.
Yes, I really like that tip. It was in, I think, your Tuesday post.
I think so,
post two or three. You can always refer back. I thought that was really terrific because it keeps everything contained, like the spray. Everything is contained in the box, so nothing else gets sprayed that shouldn't get sprayed. So it's really good. I like that one very much.
The only thing is, if the fact that you put it in a box or not,
Hmm.
If you have small pieces, I keep some old pins, like even the pins that you bend or are basically not usable.
Right.
The small pieces, I actually will pin to the bottom of the box, because when you
Oh.
spray, otherwise they could move around a bit.
Fly over. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, good. Terrific. And now how is, okay, the 404 is kind of like a post-it note. So how is that different from 505?
505, basically, it's a basting spray. It's it's temporary. It's called a temporary adhesive, and I use it for basting.
Okay.
So basically, you prepare your sandwich, your first slice of fabric, spray it on. I put my batting, then spray it on again, and put your top on top of that.
Like putting mayo on a sandwich.
Exactly. Yep. And a healthy sandwich, lots of fiber. So the thing is with 505, I am guilty, is I always put too much.
Okay.
I always put way too much. A little goes actually a long way.
Okay.
I know it's depending what batting I use, sometimes will mean I'll even use a bit more, because I will spray on the batting. People are saying, no, you're supposed to spray it on the fabric and then put it on and put that on the batting.
Right.
Depending where I am in my process, I will put it directly on the fabric or directly on the batting with little to no issues. I've never had an issue. And as you know, Carla, I do quilt on my little domestic machine, large quilts.
Yes.
And they all based in with 505.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
It does. We had a question earlier before the sample. Does it dry quickly?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It depends what your definition of quick is. In my case, it dries quickly enough. Example, I basted a quilt night before last, so 36 hours ago, and I just checked. It is still, everything is still sticking together, but it is not. If I slide my hand between the layers, I don't find it. It is not tacky. Okay. Yesterday morning, I had some of the leftover fabrics from the backing, and like when I spray everything. So what I cut off, because was at that point, 12, 15 hours later, I could still feel the stickiness of it. Okay. But 36 hours later, I find it is very dry. Very dry. Yeah. Okay, so it takes some time, but you can still work with it even if it's not 100% dry, correct? Oh, we're not going to wait. No, I don't wait. I don't have time. A lot of times, I don't have time to wait. I had deadlines. Okay, yeah, really? I do. So I spray and I quilt. I spray and I quilt right away. And again, I've seen where, like this one was 36 hours ago. It's still on the pile on the floor until I start quilting it probably this weekend. Right. Okay. I will say, like the batting that I use for this one is, I normally use 80-20. In this case, I used a polyester batting. Okay. Instead of the 80-20. And in this case, I also noticed that it stuck better if I sprayed the batting. The batting. Not the fabric. And I also needed, because it was a polyester, very porous, because it's quite light. I had, in this case, I did have to use a bit more than I would with 80-20. Right. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. What's 606? Did you want to talk a little bit about that one? This is 606. Mm-hmm. Another one of my favorites. Okay. Well, I was going to ask you, like, any one of these are your absolute favorite. Which one is that before you get into 606? All of them? Okay, then. No, because I remember when I was in high school, or not even in high school, in, I don't know, grade 7, 8, and 9, where we had shop. And one thing I remember, Monsieur Maillet, my shop teacher, said, use the right tool for the right job. Like, don't use a screwdriver to open that can of paint. I still do it, but so when it comes to quilting and doing stuff like this, now that I've discovered these, it's like they all have their purpose. They all have a purpose. What I use, like a friend of mine, he uses 505 for basting, and what else did he say he used it for? I think maybe some sort of appliquing, but again, it comes
be the same. Yeah.
It's a personal choice.
Right.
606 is basically stabilizer interfacing, double-sided interfacing.
Interfacing, yeah.
Interfacing. It's interfacing in a can. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like iron interfacing. You iron it on, then you peel off that piece of paper. You put it on the back, and you iron it on again. In this case, this is interfacing in a can. You spray it onto in this case, I'm going to say the back of my beer, beer that I did, and I put it on the fabric, and you iron it on. It's permanent. In this case, once it's on, it is on.
You better be very sure where you want that piece to go.
Yeah, so that's why you might want to use 404 or the 808 to, okay, got to do this right.
Yeah.
To audition them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like this one. Once it's on, it's on.
Okay.
It does take 40 seconds. They say 30 to 40 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds of heat on it to adhere.
To adhere, yeah. Okay.
Adhere, yes. Thank you. But once it's on, it's on. And one thing that I think I prefer over traditional interfacing is some interfacing it's a few seconds, some it's a few more seconds, and a lot of times, not most times, a lot of times I've put on too much heat or not enough.
Right.
And it has a tendency might want to come off on the edges.
Right.
I have this problem a lot less using this.
Using that.
Yeah.
Okay. So another great tool. Now, Maureen Taylor, thank you, Maureen. She's asking, are they all aerosol or are any non-aerosol?
Everything that I have here today is all aerosol. They do have a couple other products, an anti-static, Odif gel, and I think there's another one that are not aerosol, but they would not be in this category of adhesives.
Right. Yeah. Right. So this week, it was primarily these sprays that you talked about. Yeah. How about the DK5? When would you use that?
I base my quilts on the floor. Like I tape my back to the floor, then I spray, and then the batting spray. Yeah. No matter how well you try putting on any adhesives, there's overspray. So once you're done, in my case, after every few quilts, I will go behind with DK5. I spray it on. I don't know if I never really tried it, but I will leave it on for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Like just make sure it doesn't work, and basically come with a paper towel or something and wipe it off.
Right.
If I've been doing a lot of spraying, I may need to spray once or twice, but just general spraying, I don't. Okay. Where also that I like DK5 is grippy. My fun grippy. I didn't talk about it this week, but it's a fun and it works well with the DK5. Some rulers, like this one, are not anti-slide.
Okay.
Like, I know a lot of quilters, though, after a while we get used to the rulers and they don't slide. But if you need something to keep it from sliding around, I use Grippy. And how you use Grippy is basically, this is the same brand of ruler. You spray it on the back, you just spray it on the black, and as you can see, it's now opaque.
Okay, right.
As soon as you put it on the fabric, you can't see the opaqueness of it.
You can't see that.
No. Like I've used it on this long one because this one here, I cannot keep it and use it on this.
Right.
If you put it on a template and you wanted to remove the coating,
right?
DK5, spray it on, look it up. Again, depending on how thick you put it on, you might need 1 or 2 applications, but you can wipe it off.
Like even on the rulers that you just showed us,
yeah, on rulers, or if you do applique templates out of the that
Yeah.
little mylar or plastic, and it has a tendency to slide. You could use grippy on that also.
Okay.
And if
That's
then you
very
want,
useful.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you
That's
want to
really
remove it because you want to store it and you don't want, like, it's not sticky at all. It's not sticky at all. I mean,
right.
I can feel there is something there.
Right.
But
A
it's no longer
film of some kind.
exactly, but it's not sticky at all.
Okay. Okay.
So, but if you want to store it and you don't want your film on it, you just
you remove it.
you remove it. DK5.
Very cool. Very
is.
cool.
It is.
Yeah. Well, did you want? Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
One question that was also asked was, when do I decide to use 808 or 606?
Right.
It really comes to a personal choice. Like when I did my faces, which obviously the faces, I used 606 because the pieces were long, some of them were big, and with the manipulation of it all, the raw edge appliquing, I wanted to make sure that they stuck where they were. I did not want them to move because, as you know, it's a reproduction of a painting.
Right.
So I wanted them to move. When it comes to doing a small thing like my little teddy bear, unfortunately, it's too far for me. When it came time to doing the face and putting the eyes, I actually use 808 on the eyes because I want to play a bit with the eyes. So I was able to just to glue them. I could have used 404 also, but in this case, by using 808, I actually already had something that would keep it
adhered. Yeah.
That word stuck to the fabric.
Okay.
So it's really a personal choice. Which one? I can't say one is better than the other. I do think they all have their purpose. They have their purpose. And if I was to be my studio right now, I have on top of the shelf, I have all my Odif products, and I grab them depending. It's a gut feeling which one to use when for me.
Yeah. Plus, I find it's also playing with them when you first when you're new to the product, is playing with them, seeing how they work for you as well. Yeah. Because as you said, it is like a preference. You know, whether you're going to spray 505 on the back of the fabric or on the batting itself, that's all very personal. So people are very welcome to test and to play on smaller projects, but. Can you tell us a little bit about how difficult was your faces quilt in the back? And first of all, who actually did the original drawing or painting?
All right, so repeat your question. Okay, part two of your question.
Well, there were a lot of questions in there.
Yeah,
okay.
But can you repeat the question, the first part of your question again?
Yeah. Well, how hard was it to make that piece? Because to me, it's not like an abstract where, well, if you're a little bit off, wouldn't matter so much. But this, you need to see the chin and the neck and the ear and the nose and all that. Very intricate pieces and very minimal as well to make a part of a face. So how did you use your sprays to make that quilt there, the faces quilt?
I took a picture of the original painting, which was done by my niece. Adrienne, and Adrienne, I love you more. So I took her painting and I photographed it, uploaded it to a projector, and projected everything on the wall. So when it came to the background, I just did a quick faint with a pencil line of where every pieces went, smaller than actually the pieces themselves.
Right.
Once that was done, I left the projector on and I started swapping or putting fabrics, the gray fabrics, the blue, the reds, on the wall, the distance, and I traced on. Actually, what I traced on was actually paper. I sprayed paper, and it was just tracing paper that I coated with 808.
Okay, right.
So again, this was a huge piece of paper.
Right.
I just tacked it to the wall, like with thumbtacks.
Yeah.
Traced everything.
Right.
Sprayed 808 on it. Then I was able to put it on my background, on the colored fabrics. Cut around. Once that was done, peel off the paper.
Peel off the paper. Yeah.
606. Put it
606
in
rescue.
plate and iron them on. And in some places, the blue is actually on a black piece of fabric, and the red lips are actually also on black fabric. So there's actually like the background in 2 layers.
You're freezing. Well,
you're not frozen.
Can everybody see him?
I can see you.
Paul, you're frozen. We are going to wait, but while I have you here, so I just wanted to say, okay, so you can hear me and see me. So so Paul was explaining about the faces, project. That one there was in a needle pulling thread, issue 54, and the theme for that one was faces. The banner with the gift and the teddy pair, that one there was this past week. And as he did that project, he used all of the Odif sprays, the 404, 505, 606, 808, and also DK5 to clean things up at the end. And the little snowman with the flake, that was done last year in one of the winter scenes. So, okay, I'm so glad that you could still see us both. But is Paul frozen? Paul is frozen.
Pauline,
well,
can you hear me?
I don't know.
Pauline, or clear?
What else is there to say? So Paul, do you want to write a comment at the bottom by any chance? Not frozen. Okay, so Paul, you're frozen for me then? Paul is not frozen. Oh, okay. Hi, Paul. Okay, so Paul, do you want to continue then?
Yeah, so basically, like I said,
okay.
there are 3 layers.
So continue.
Yeah, so I just used.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but
I use the I use the 606 on. Okay, I can hear myself now. All right. Can you all right, where was I? So yeah, so there's 3 layers. And one thing also with the 606 that I prefer over, in this case, over the traditional interfacing is you can actually only spray the edges. You don't have to spray the whole piece as you would have a lot of times with the interfacing. You put a big piece of interfacing, you only put a little bit of.
I'm having some technical difficulties here where I can't see and I can't hear Paul. Yeah, but I can't hear him.
While we're waiting.
Okay. Paul?
Yep.
We are going to stop the video for today, but it was very, very informative. I thank you so much. I'm sorry that we have to go this way, but I just am not seeing anybody or anything right now. So I'm sorry, but I think we covered the most important parts of the posts, and you can catch that on Quilt Social. You can review them again. Paul, thank you again very much for your time, and thank you all for attending the live event. Thank you, and until next week with more recap for Quilt Social posts. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.